the last Airbnb project has been updated. The video is here. You can watch it. You will see the query here. All the query is also uploaded here. This is data set. So this evening, I want us to start with something called the Big Six SQL statement. Now in SQL, there are some arguments or this thing we've been using, which is select statement, form, and the likes. So there's the order at which we must use them, and we need to understand them and when it's applicable. They are called the Big Six. Right, so let's go into it. So the big element, the Big Six elements of a SQL statement are.
Sorry, Tizat, I was talking
Yes.
on mute. What?
Go ahead.
What are we using? Is it still on the Airbnb material?
No, we are done. The class that you missed, you guys are missed. I've uploaded the video. We are done with that one.
Okay.
Yeah. So we are now on
check time. You're just going ahead.
we have to go. We have to go. This course must not span more than December. Trust me.
Okay.
By at least worst case scenario, by second week or third week of December, we must before Christmas. So the Big Six SQL statements. We have the select statement, right? And like you all know, select statement is what we've been using all along. What is it used for? It helps us identify columns. So anytime you want to return anything, anytime you want to retrieve something from your data, you use the select statement. So how is it being used? You put select and your column name. Say, for example, I have a table now, and I want to fetch only the employee name and employee number. I'll just use select statement. Select. The column name is called employee name. That's column 1. Column 2 is employee number, comma, employee number. So select is one of the most used tools, SQL. The next one is
what if
form.
you have multiple tables in your database?
That's a great question. That is where this form now enter. So this form is what will help you now narrow down your select statement. So let's say we've taken that we want to select employee name, employee number, and we have about 5 tables. So when you click on form, this form will now help you identify the tables that you want to put that data from. And that's why you see that after select, the next, when you determine, after you select, you determine the columns you want to retrieve. The next thing you use is form, which allow you to narrow it down to table. So form is just basically from table. You give the table name. Maybe from sales, just click on form sales. Now the third one is where. So where is a conditional statement. When you have scenario where you're not trying to just retrieve, now you want to retrieve based on a criteria or condition, use a where statement, right? Select, form, table, and then you bring your where. So this where is applicable where you want to specify a certain parameter. Maybe we have an employee data now that contains employee data from 2000 to 2010. But our focus is only on 2010 employees. That is, employees that were hired in 2010. So if I select my table name, I select my column, and I specify form, for me to be able to narrow it down to that 2010, I'll be using where. I'll say where hire date is equals to 2010. So that will help me now filter the result to employees that were hired in 2010. So this where is like a logical condition that will help you narrow down your filter. Now the next one is go by. Now let's imagine that we now want to calculate based on a group. Then that's where go by now comes in. So go by give us the option to be able to go by to group our results. Like we have that data. Let's imagine that we want to see employees that were hired in each of the year. that we want to group employee by number of employees that we hire in a year. So we have to use our group by. So our group by will allow us to perform that aggregate function, which will now show that, oh, in 2009, we have 20 employees, 2010, we have 30 employees, and so on. So that's what group by allows us to do. The next one is having. So this having is also optional. It's also a conditional statement, which also allow us to now sort or present our group by. Right? So I can now go to my group by and say that, okay, based on a parameter again. So having is more useful when I have multiple conditions that I want to filter my data by. And it's only useful after I have used my group by. So one thing you must also know about this big statement is that you have to arrange them this order. You can have select, you have from, you may not have where if it's okay by you, but you can't have where and jump to go by. No. You have to have where before go by. And you can't put having after where. No. So it has to come in this order. Why? This is the first one, from, where, go by, having. The last one is order by. So order by is the sixth and the last big sixth element of a SQL statement. So what order by allows us to do is to be able to determine the order at which our data is presented. I'll say that again. Order by function is a function in SQL that allows us to determine the way at which our data would be presented. Do we want it based on ascending order or descending order? So order by is what allows us to specify the order at which our query is returned. Does that make sense? So these are the big six elements. These are the big six elements of a SQL statement. So you can see it starts with select, then we have the from, then where, then we have goodbye, then we have having, and the last one is order by. So let's go to a practical scenario on how we can use all of these big six SQL statements. Any question? Any question?
No, none yet from me, Fiza.
Okay. So let's go to the first one again. 1 second. So the very first one is select statement. Just like I've explained, this select statement is used to query the database and help us retrieve data from one or more tables. All right. It is one of the most commonly used SQL command and can be used to specify which columns you want to retrieve from a table. You can also filter the data and perform calculation with additional clauses. So let's load our data and begin to try all these examples. So let's go to our SQL and load our data quickly. So I'm going to go to my SQL quickly. My SQL. Okay, it didn't open. Oh, I did not open this. Let me load it again. Okay, this is Workbench. Let's open my Workbench. Okay, my SQL is loading now. So let's download our data. For this illustration now, this is our data here. See? Where is it? This one. This employee data. Just go here. Let's open it first to see what is there. Look at it. This is it. So please, I need you to pay attention to how I'm going to upload I'm going to import this data because this one is a query. Do you get? But it's not difficult. Just watch me. Okay, I've opened the file. This is it. So this is it. That's what we're going to use. In this case study, we examine a company employee data using SQL queries. The goal is to extract valuable insights about the employees, such as demographic, hiring trend, and the likes. Right? So the very first we're going to do is to create a table. How do you So the very first we're going to do is to create a table. How do you create a table? Again, follow my illustration the way it is on this text statement. So let me load my SQL. So this is my SQL. I want to go into your database. I'm going to go here to August cohorts. Once I double click on it, I'm now in your database. So I'm going to name this one. Name this thing Big 6. Big 6 SQL statements. So under the Big 6, we are under the select one. Select statements. So let's upload our data. Now, to import our data, the very first thing I'm going to do is to create a table. You can see, just follow the parameter here. Copy from here to here. Copy the query. Once you copy it, go here and just paste it. So what does this thing do? It helps us create a table. Create a table. Table name is called employees. And these are all the columns in that table. Employee number, I want it to be integer, not null. That is, it should not be blank. So all of these things are just comments. These ones are comments. Birth date, this is date. It should not be null. First name, last name, gender, enum. That is, should be either male or female. Hire date, and then I want to use employee number as the primary key. So once I copy this, I will just put my cursor here, I'll press Control and Enter. Look at it, the table has been created. Now I have a blank table called employees now. If I refresh this now, and I go under table, you're going to see employees. If I go here, you see employees is here, but it is blank. So let's go back. After you've run this first query, then go here to run the second one. Okay, ignore this one. This one and this one, they are the same thing. You've already created it, so there's no need. So this one is just explaining what that one is. So the next thing is to now click on Insert from here. But this is a lot of data. And if you're trying to start copying like this, you waste your time. So what do? Put your cursor here. Put your cursor before the insert. Hold on your Shift key and scroll down. Use your scroll bar to go down up until this place. Then put your cursor at the back here. Automatically, it's going to highlight everything. So let me do it again. Your very first step, because you want to copy a lot of data and don't want to do it manually, is you will hold on your Shift key, put your cursor at the back of this insert, hold on your Shift key, then use your scroll bar to go back down, to scroll down. Then put your cursor at the back here. Put it here, and then guess what? Everything is highlighted. Now that you have it, just Ctrl-C to copy. Please note, you must not change anything here. If you change anything to full stop, this data will be distorted. So go back and then go to the next line here, just paste. Once you paste, you can see, what does this thing mean? So it just means that you're trying to insert. Let me explain the query. It says insert into, table name is called employees, values. So you can see these are all the things you want to apply there. It is following the way the table is created. And after each one, there's a comma before the next one. So now that we are done, we just need to press Control and Enter. See, data has been loaded. 1,641 rows has been loaded. So let's fetch our data now. Let's see what we loaded briefly. I'm going to go here. I'll press, I want to fetch the data. I will say select. Because I want to see the total table, all the tables, I'll put star and I'll put from employees square. Select star from employees. I'll press Control and enter. Look at it. So this is everything. I can also extract this or export it as a CSV and then import it back in case I don't want to write queries like this. Okay, so let's go to the questions that were being asked. The first question is, retrieve the first name and last name of all the employees. We are still under select statement. Retrieve the last name and first name of all the employees. To do this one, what we need to do is just go here. Okay, let me be typing question under it. Since there's question here. Control C to copy. I'll put #, Control V. Retrieve the first name and last name of all the employees. Just go here to type select. Because I want to retrieve just the first name, I'll type first name, comma, last underscore name. I didn't put comma at the back because that's the last column that I want to retrieve. I will now put my form statement. Form, the table name is called employees. You can put it here, it doesn't matter. Employees. Then close, Control and enter. See, I have my first name and my last name. Let's answer the second one. List employee number and first name. Now this one says list employee number. 1 second, guys. I want to copy the distance so that we can all see. Okay, so let me just copy with # directly. So still under our select statement, the question says, list employee number and first name of employee who have a first name starting with A. Now, for us to do this one, we'll be using our where condition. Though we are not yet in where, we are seeing select statement, but we need to be using our where because it's a conditional statement. So what do? We're going to go here to type select, that's the first thing. Select employee number, comma, first name. There's no comma there. From employees. From employees. We are not going to use where. So this where comes around because we are not trying to narrow down our results. We're trying to filter based on the condition. A condition is employee that has their first name starting with A. So where first name, I will now put like. Now, because it say start with A, I'm going to use something called wildcard, A percentage. If you watch that Airbnb, you'll see all of this thing there. I explained this wildcard in that Airbnb. So A percentage means that I want to retrieve all employees whose first name starts with A. So I'm going to put terminator key and I'll say Control and enter. So look at it. You can see all the first name. Right. That's the third question. Show the employee number of employees born in 1960.
If the condition was if it includes A, what would it have been?
So it will have been that we are going to have another percentage at the back. So you get, if I want this one now, it will include A. You can see any name that include A, that's what this one means.
Okay, if it has to be A, if it's A at the last, it means that the percentage will come to the front.
Yes.
If it ends with A.
Yes. So this one means it has to start with A. So another one that we want to treat under that scenario is show the employee number of employees that were born in 1960. Now, in case you don't understand where that column is, you can always fetch your table to see. So there's a column called birth date. You can see birth date. So what do? We just go here to type select employee number, employee underscore number, first name from employees. We're going to put our where statement. Where?
If the table is in lowercase, how come you're writing in uppercase and still giving us the answer?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
As long as it's spelled correctly. It's not case sensitive. So where, right? Where of employees where there's a column called birth year. So I'm going to put year. This is a function in SQL. I'll open the column and I'll say birth date. So what this year birth date will do is that it will help me extract the year from that column called birth date. Right? After that equals 1960. So let me tell you the difference between equals to unlike. The end goal is the same, but however, like is more used to a text, while equals to is more useful for a number. Shall you get? So I'm going to go here and I'll press Control and Enter. Look at it. If you want to know whether your answer is correct, so let's put our birth date here as well. Birth date. This is what will tell us our answer is correct. Control Enter. You can see we have everything in 1960. Can you see that? It gave us all the employees that were hired in 1960. So this one says retrieve all the columns for employees who are male. So this is another where condition. It says we should retrieve all the columns for employees that are only male. That is, we want to filter our data based on a male. So how do we do this one? For us to do this one, we just go here. We can just go to select star. Now I'm using star now because I want to see the entire table. So star is also a wildcard, which means entire table. Star from employees, right? I will now use where gender, there's a column called gender, equals, I'll just put M. Because when you look at that table, where's the table again? This table, Control Enter. You can see that gender is defined as M or F. So I will just go here and I want it. Look at it, we have all the male gender. So this is how to do your select statement. Everything we've done is all about select statement, you can see. So let's go to the next one. The next one, which we're already using, is the from statement. And like I've explained, from helps us specify which table to use. Just like Tubo asked, if we have about 10 of our tables in our database and want to retrieve from that particular table 8 or table 7, from is what is going to help us select that particular table, right? And it's essential for every statement that we write. Okay, so for example, now this one is saying that we should retrieve the last name and first name. So let's go back to our SQL. From statement. So the question is, retrieve the first name, last name, and hire date from the employees table. Very simple. Just go here to type select first underscore name, last underscore name, hire underscore date, for employees. Look at it. It's very straightforward. So the next question under that is a question where it says that, let's take. Select the employee number and first name of employee from the employees table who have a hire date after. That is, we want to say employees that were hired after January 1, 1990. So how do we do this? So the question says, select the employee number and first name of employees from the employee tables who have a hire date after January 1, 1990. Now, the thing you need to understand about this is, first of all, select, which is your select statement, employee number. I may not even do this. I can say, you know what, I want to see the entire table, star from employee. Let's look at the entire table. We'll now put our where statement. Where, year, hire date, underscore date, there's a column called hire date, right, is greater than 1995. 1995, 01, 01. Select from employees where year hire date is greater than this. Control and enter. Look at it. You can see. Is it 1995 he called or 1990? He said 1990. So let's put 1990 there. 1990. Control and enter. Look at it. You can see how awesome that is. So that's how we can get that. Any question? Any question, guys?
I only have a problem with this where year.
Okay. So this where year, okay, first of all, what is question asking us to do? The question says, select the employee number, first
because
name
how
of
do I
employees
bring
from
year
year
into the
table
equation?
who have
The
a higher
table
date.
is only
So,
telling me about higher date.
So let me explain. So the first thing you need to use is select statement. And then of course, you put your wildcard, which is star, which means that you want to retrieve the entire table from employees. Now this where is a must because you're trying to filter based on a higher date from 1990, as stated in the question. But this year is helping you extract the year from the higher date. So you have a column called higher date. But the fact that you put year before that higher date means that you are trying to extract this year from that higher date. If you don't use the year before it, it could work, but it's advisable you put year. You know, when we are in Excel and sometimes we have a date and we are trying to extract years from that date, that's exactly what this is doing, right? Which now makes the answer correct. Do you understand?
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. Godwin, any question from you? Okay, guys, let's continue.
Yes, sorry.
Go ahead.
No question. It's just that I missed the beginning part.
So there's nothing in the beginning. It was just me explaining big six.
When you started off.
So what you miss basically.
Well, I can still watch the
video, right? Okay, it's fine. But what you miss is just me explaining the big six.
But the video comes in late. Thursday, by that time, a lot of things would have happened.
I'll make sure it comes. I'll make sure this one comes early. Right. It's not my fault. It's the upload and everything. Though I'll make sure this one comes early. So.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me? I've been speaking.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, sorry, I'm talking.
Okay, it's fine. I heard you.
Okay.
I heard you. I'm saying that I'll let the video comes early this time around. And also, you've not missed a lot. I was just explaining what is known as Big Six sequence statement.
Yeah.
And I was explaining select, from, where, go by, having, order by, and the like. Do you get?
Yes.
So that's what I was explaining.
Okay. It's fine. I will.
Okay. So we are done with form. Let's go to the third one, which is what we already start doing, which is the where statement. Right? Just like I've been explaining, the where clause helps us filter the result to only include rows that meet certain condition. Right? The where clause filters the result to only include rows that meet certain condition. Right? And it is used to specify the criteria for retrieving data, such as matching the specific values or ranges. Right? So let's get into how this function. Let's do some examples. The next example is list all employees that were hired after 1995. See, what I'm showing you guys now, this is literally interview questions. All right. So let's go there. The third one is where. These are where statements. Question is list all employees who were hired after 1995. So I'm just going to go here to type select star from employees. Now, let me just put this. I will not use year, Tubo. I will not use that year. I will see if it's going to be correct. All right, so I will not use year. I'll leave year. I will just change this ones to 1995 and see if the answer will be correct. Control and enter. Is the answer correct? See, the answer is still correct. You can see, even though I didn't use year, but just go to play safe by putting it. You can see the answer is still correct, even though I didn't use the year function. Right. So the next one is find the employees. I love this one. Whose first name? Find the employees whose first name contains the letter N. Right. We've done it before. We're just going to go here to type our select. Let me copy all of this to save us time. And we'll just go here to start with where first name underscore name. I'll put like, right? Star. I'll put this and I'll just put N. This, I'll also put this. Select from employees where first name like, that is, I want it to contain the letter N. That's the word. Control and enter. Look at it. You see that all the things we have, it contain letter N in it. Can you see? I can narrow it down to say that I want it to start with N. Once I press enter, this will change to first name N alone. Can you see that? But the question says contain N, so this has to be there. So that's how to use wildcard. So the third one says get employees who were born. Very interesting. Get employees who were born before 1960 and have the first name Mary. Now, for us to do this one, this is more or less like a two-conditional statement. We have to use our and. What conditional statement is now 2. Right? Conditional statement is now what? Is now 2.
What will you use in Excel, Fizat? If you have
What will I do what?
What will you use in Excel? What's the formula in Excel?
It's just for you to filter based on 2 criteria now in Excel.
Okay.
Do you get? So let me export this to Excel so you can see how it's going to be done in Excel. So to export this data, so let me open our full data and export to Excel. Control Enter. So this is our full data. I want to export it to Excel. I will just click on Save option here. I'll download it. I'll put it on my download. I'll call this EMP. And I'll change it to Excel spreadsheet. Save. So let's go and open it. So I can do that for you, how it's going to look like. Because I save it that way, it's appear in XML. Look at the way it appears. This is the way it appears. So let's resave it.
This needs coding language instead.
Save that. Let's just leave it as a CSV. Replace. So I'm going to go to my download. Where is it? Did I not save it to my download? Okay, let me delete this one and I will save it. Save Joe. Okay, let me open Excel to use Excel to open the file. Something is wrong. AA. Okay, I've saved it as AA now. Okay, it's not here. So get the employees who were born after 1960. The first thing you do is just go here, birth date. You just go to date filter. Before I click on after, you go here to type 1960. That's going to be 1 1 1960. That's the first thing. And now say that where the first name is Mary, just go here and filter.
No, I'm sorry
by
to bring you back. I didn't see. Oh, you just used by the filter.
what I did is just
the whole table.
Now this is it now.
Okay.
Just go to birth date and go to date filter.
Yeah. Right.
Then you go to after. See? After, then you put the date here.
Yeah.
1/1/1960. So you can see, now that we filter that, we're going to go to first name and search for employee whose name starts with Mary. But I'm not sure we have Mary here. Let's see. Maybe we should change it to Mary. May-R-I-E. Okay, let's go back to our SQL. So for this one, I'm going to go here. It's John. No, it's John I'm seeing here. Why did I say Mary? So the first thing is select from employees. Then I'll put where birth date. Oh, it's before. It's not after. It should be before. Sorry, I'm not supposed to use greater. I'm supposed to use less than. So where I'll now type birth date. Birth underscore date is less than 1960 01 01. All right, where birth is less than 01 01. I will now put and first name is equals to John. Now, this single quote that I'm putting on it is what is required of you when you're trying to let it return text for you. Control and enter. See, none of it exists. So there's no John. So let's put Mary. Mary actually exists. So the other one time I was doing it, I was doing greater than instead of less than. So that's how to answer that. Okay, we're number 3. Number 4 is goodbye. So like you already know, goodbye clause is used to group rows that have the same values in a specified columns into summary rows. So the whole idea of goodbye is that it's going to help us group what we've done into a specified columns. So mostly we use goodbye with aggregate function like count, sum, or average, so that we can be able to group our operation on each group. That's what we use goodbye for. So please pay attention to this goodbye on. So let's go to the first question. Find the total number of employees hired by each year. Very interesting. So this is where we need to be using to use aggregate function. So let's go here to group by. Find the total number of employees hired each year. So what do we do? We're going to say select. All right, we have here, open bracket, hire date, hire underscore date. We're going to call it as, I'm sure you know what as means now. AS means aliases, right? And we're going to introduce our count. What are we trying to count? Employee number. That's the code that we're trying to count. Employee underscore number, right? We're going to call it AS, employee number. AS means aliases. I'll say from employees. Now, for the result to come in like year and number of employees, I have to use a go by. Because go by is what will help me ensure that the calculation that I've done at the top is presented in group. So go by, I said I want you to go by year, hire date. Now, this year is very important for you to use it now because you only want to see the year by hire date. So I'll close it and I'll press Control and Enter. Look at it. So this is hire year and that's the number of employee. Can you see? So it tells us our total number of employee by hire year. So this is what the group by is used for. Now let's go to our other questions. The next question is saying group employees by gender and count total number of employees in each group. More or less like saying that we have male and female. How many male do we have and how many female do we have? All right. We can take an idea from what we did here. Pretty simple. Just say that select. Of course, we want to see our gender. And we're going to introduce our count. Count. What are we counting? Employee number. Right? From employees. Then you go here to go by gender. Select gender, count employee number from employees, go by gender, Control and Enter. Look at it. Male is 1031 and female is 610. Right. So let's look at the last question under go by. Find the average employee number, assuming it is numeric type for employees that were hired after 1990. Go by year. Find the average employee number, assuming it is a numeric type. That is, that column that we call employee number, assuming is a numeric. For employees that were hired after 1990, that we should also group it by what? We should also group it by year. So let's do that. So the very first we're going to do is to select year, open bracket, hire date. As hire underscore year, right? Put comma, then AVG. Because it says we should do average of that column called employee number. Assuming it's numeric. So we're going to do employee number column. Right? From employees. From employees, we're going to say where hire date. You can see that we are using hire, we are using from, we are using where, we're also going to use go by. Where hire date is greater than 1990, 01, 01. Right? And we're going to go to go by year hire underscore date. Select year hire date as hire year, AVG employee number from employees where hire date is greater than this, go by year hire date. I'll go here and I'll press Control and Enter. Look at it. We're almost done, guys. So that's how to use go by. So the next one is having. So having is also a filter that is used after
before you go to having, can you do one where you selecting a particular month, not year?
Okay, so this data does not have a month unless you want to extract year.
Okay.
So the column data does not have month. When you look at data, we don't have a month. However, we can use a formula to extract month out of it. Let me see if we can do that to start with. Let's use what we did.
That were hired in the month of May.
Oh, hold on. Let me see whether we can. Okay, let's look at this one. Let me use this one to see if we can extract May. So I'll not change these ones to months. Let's see. Month, and I will now change this one to May. So let's say we want to extract all employees that we hired in the month of May. So I will just use like here. Because it's text. Control and enter. You can say it's not going to work, but let's change these things to 05 instead. 05. Control and enter. It's not working as well. So you see, it's not working. Or let's change it to equals to. Control and enter. Now it's working. I'm supposed to use equals to because this is text. Like is only used for, this is number. I'm supposed to use equals to. Like is only used for text. You can see that it's working. So these are all the employees that we hire. So it's working. It's just that because the month name is not spelled as a text. So you have to use 05. These are all the employees that we hired in.
If it was
May.
May as in MAY, it should be like.
Yes,
the condition should be like.
But it will not work because this function only extracts what you can see as 05, 04, 03, and not in text. But if it will be having that, we will use like. Okay, so let's go to having and complete that. So having is used after the goodbye clause and is based on the aggregate condition. So it's just like where as well. However, when after you use goodbye, the next thing you can use in is having, because it allows you to filter additional criteria of your data. Right. So let's go and see how. So this one says retrieve the year. Retrieve the year and count of employees hired in each year, but only show years where more than 10 employees were hired. This is very interesting. Right. This one says retrieve the year. Okay, it says retrieve the hire year and count employees that were hired in each year. However, we only want to see years that have more than 10 employees. It's more or less saying that we should analyze data. After we've analyzed it, we filter it, and now say, no, we want to see based on people that ask about 10 of them or 5 of them. So let's see how this works. So this one is having. Sorry, did I put in menu? So I'm trying to copy, not that. Having, Control V. So retrieve the year and count of employees in each year, but show years where more than 10 employees were hired. Okay, for us to do this, the first thing we're going to do, we're going to say select year hire date. That's the first thing we're going to do. We're going to call it as hire year. After this, count employee number. Count employee number from employees. Go by year and hire date. This is what I'm doing. Once you know your table name, you just type this question on ChatGPT. It'll give you this answer. I'm telling you for free. Having count employee number. I hope it's correct.
You've spelled having incorrect.
Yes.
So it might not be.
Having, it's also having an uppercase self. Having employee number greater than 10. Okay, it's already showing me signs that something is wrong somewhere. How do I know? Look at this. This is a sign. Okay, let's see. Select year, higher date as higher year. I'm supposed to put comma here. Count employee number from employees, yes. Group by year, higher date. Having count. Normally, if I run this query now, let's say I put a terminator key here and I run it up until here. Look at what I'm going to have. It gives me all these results. You can see. But it says that it only wants to see just a place where the result is more than 10. So I'm going to go here and I'll now run this one. You see, it has removed all the 6. We now have where the result is more than 10. If it says it wants to see where the result is more than 100, Control and enter. So this will be filtered further. You can see. So the whole essence of this having is to help us with the second filter. Let's imagine that. So let's use ChatGPT to answer this question so you know how it works. Watch you. Let's say I want to ChatGPT. That's what I'm saying, that if your data analysis is 2025, it's sweet, eh? Just watch. So I'm going to highlight and copy only a few data. See, I'll copy only a few data. Copy. I'll just go here, ChatGPT. I'm going to say, see my SQL. Watch, guys. I'm going to say, see my SQL. See my SQL table name called employees. Please define your table name, employees. I'll paste the table name. I'll just send it to it. I'll send the data. I just copy some part of the data and send it. Now I'll go and ask SQL for that question. So I will now write this query. I will say retrieve, watch. I'll go here and I'll now say, based on this, I'll say that retrieve the higher year. Let's put this one as 100 as well. Watch. I'll press enter. Look at it. I have given the SQL a table name and I've given it my table, sample table. Look at it. It's not the same. You can see how sweet this is. Let me copy this query. If I run it, my answer will be the same. Let me show you. I just copy it. I'm not doing anything. Once I go here and I paste it, once I just press Control and enter, look at it. I have my results. Because all SQL needs, I've already done it. See, employees, I've already given it the table. You will find that table and it's interested. So these are ways you can also use ChatGPT. But when we get there, it's going to show you. The last question here, find the years where more than 5 employees with the same gender were hired. I don't want to even stress myself. Let's paste this to ChatGPT because of our time and see what the results will look like. 1 second. So the question says, find the years, so that you guys see that the answer will be correct. Because I've given ChatGPT my table name and everything, if I go here and I just paste this question, I press enter. Watch you. It's going to do the query. See? Just copy.
Is this professional chat? You're already on 5.
What do you say?
Is it professional chat, ChatGPT? Is it
You
pro?
can use the free. You can use the free version. It doesn't matter. Do you get? You can use the free version. So ChatGPT even arrange it properly, which is arrange it based on order by. We've not even got to order by. He added to it. See. If I go here and run this thing, and you see, you can see. It also it included the, what's it called? It included the sorting. This does not ask us to sort. It just asks, this is what it asks us. Find the years where more than 5 employees with the same gender were hired. Select year. It's saying us that these are the year that we have more than 5 gender. So normally this order by is not needed. If I go here and I run it, my answer is the same. That's what we're asked to do. but he just went ahead to not add the way it should appear, which is order by. Sure you get. So the last phase of this is the last segment, which is the order by. Order by is just used to sort. You know, when you have your results, you don't want to decide that you want to sort it based on highest to lowest or lowest to highest. For example, let's answer these 3 questions there. First question here, let's go to order by. Order by. So first question here says, you want it to return the date, but you want it to be ordered by ascending order, right? And it's just return all the data by ascending order, which is date. How do you do this? Pretty simple. Just go here, select star from employees, select stars from employees, right? Just put order by last name. Now, when you use order by, you have to also determine, do you want ascending or descending order? ASC. See, Control Enter. So you now see that it will come based on that. You can see ascending order. You want to be descending order, you can go here to be descending order. Control and Enter. Right. So let's do the last one, and then we'll call it a day. I like this one because it's one of the top interview questions under SQL. And that's when you begins to see the word top. Look at this question. Retrieve the hire year and count of employees hired in each year, but only show years where more than 10 employees were hired and top 5. See, everything they are asking us, we've done it here already. Let me see. This place. See, this is what we've done already. We've done here already. I'll just copy this. I'll just go here to copy that. I'll paste it. So the first one is select year where hire date, right, as hire year. We want to also see the gender. No, that's not what they're asking us to do. We choose the hire year and count of employees. No. So we don't need the gender. We just count. Count of what? We just put count employee number. Underscore number. Count employee number, right? As, let's remove alias. For employees, they want to go by year hire date, right? They will now have having count, which is employee number. Hold on seconds, guys. I'm still trying to run it. I will explain to you guys. Having count, employee number is closer than 10. Watch. We'll now go here to now say order by count employee number DEACS, descending order, and limit it by 5. Okay, let's look at what the question is asking us. We retrieve the year and count of employees hired in each year. First of all, this select year, up until year, we've done that. Go by hire date. It now says only shows where more than 10 employees were hired, and that's why we now use this having. So this having is helping us achieve that. Having count employee number is greater than 10. Now the last part, we now say that, and it says, and top 5. For you to use your top 5, you need to be able to use order by, because order by will allow you to sort it. So you sort your results based on descending order. You will now use limit by 5. See, if I close this thing now from here and I press Control Enter, this is what I have. So the whole essence of up until here is to be able to sort these results. But I want to see only top 5. For me to see only top 5, they're going to be using something called limit 5. Look at it. So it will now limit the results to top 5. But for you to get here, you must have used order by. So order by will allow you to be able to sort it based descending or ascending order before you can now do limit 5. So ladies and gentlemen, this is how to use our Big Six SQL statement. See, once you understand the fundamental of Big Six SQL statement and you know the order at which they follow each other and how to use them, you've learned SQL as a data analyst. This is foundation, and you have to be grounded in these Big Six. Once you understand it, you are good to go with Big Six SQL. You are good to go with any SQL query. Any question? Any question, guys?
No, none from me.
Okay. So in the absence of no questions, see you tomorrow by God's grace. Please note, for every session we did not join, we will have to upload the video there. Right. So please try and be available. And if you're not available, it's fine. You can always watch the
I'm
video.
not giving me the Excel
What is it?
video we did.
What is it?
The Excel we did, just you and I.
I sent
You
it to
didn't
you on
share
WhatsApp immediately now. I sent you on WhatsApp immediately now.
No, you didn't share the video,
Ah, are you
the
sure?
recording.
Hold on, let me check. If I didn't send it, I don't think I can find it again. No. I thought I shared it. Oh my goodness. Okay, I will look through my drive. I hope I can still find it here. Okay, guys, thank you for your time. I will ensure the video is uploaded tonight. At least.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So let me stop recording.
That will help.